So we were teasing about it. So I turned the cam on, and then I started like undressing. So when he was putting it online. Hello.
Hello. Aw.
I am.
I wanted to
opening-
say my mic was muted because I made the mistake.
It's
but
the puppy!
there goes my puppy. That was my puppy. Her
Aw.
name is Eve. She's adorable. It's kind of her nap time right now, so I just wanted to bring her in for a second.
Well, hello.
Let everyone say hello. But hello, everybody. Theta
Why is
Thursdays.
Why is Klexus
What
on
a
there?
hell of a
Because
way.
Kalexos was supposed to show up. He's on his way home from work. So
Okay.
Kalexos will be here when he's home from work.
Well, welcome everybody. We hopefully have stuff to talk about tonight. If we have to disappear randomly, that's what happens, but we're gonna try to be here for at least an hour, hopefully two. We've got some regulars today and some new people coming in. We've got obviously Mifune and I, Dylan Rhea. We have Greg Haza joining again. We've got DeClorian returning, which is very exciting. He's
Hello.
been away for a while for reasons. And then Ragnar is a returning guest.
Hello.
He wasn't here last week. And then we have a special guest today, JP. He is one of our little newbies that is from a different game that we've brought into Eve, and he's going to give us his perspective on some things of the game from a brand fresh player. So now we can get into it. This week has been, I would say, probably the most morale high, like ecstatic week we've had in a long time. Like, we've had good weeks. Yeah, we've had good weeks. And it's just like, and I just, another one. That's all that's happening this week is just constant positives. And Dirk's here today as well. So hi, Dirk.
Hearing the lamentations of their leadership made me hard.
Oh, that was fun too. I got to like stomp some ass on fucking Tuesday there. Oh, and there's Klexos. Hi, Klexos.
Hey guys, what's going on?
Hey.
Not much.
I
We're
need
just
to turn your
hanging
mic
out.
up. Ooh.
Yeah.
Don was just getting ready to talk about the festivities that we had this week at the expense of Pappy.
Ooh, okay.
Paspy.
Listen, as on Tuesday, I tried to keep it somewhat reasonable because, like, A, there were a lot of people in there, and B, you could hear like
Villy was
they were
really
all, like,
emotional. No, like Villy was real emotional on Tuesday.
Well, when you have Briss screaming in your face, what do you do?
Can I start right away by saying that as soon as Mittens came on, I like in my head I was like he's going to come in, he's going to start talking, everyone's going to shut the fuck up, he's going to give a speech, he's going to drop the mic, and he's going to yeet out like right the fuck away. And
That's
it was
exactly what he did.
The fuck happened, and I'm like, that's fucking glorious. I fucking love that guy. I love that fucking character. It's fucking amazing.
Is my mic not working on stream?
We can hear. Well, I can hear you here. I don't know about on stream.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's working? Okay.
Yeah, it's working. Yeah, I just checked it.
Your mouth a little bit more. I don't know.
So yeah, hi guys in chat that are saying hi to me. Hello.
Oh, yeah.
Dawn's lagging out.
So, and
yeah,
Shayla may be showing up. See, this is what happens every
Okay, robot, calm down. Robot, calm the fuck down.
Robot done.
Okay, let's. I'm going to fill this part in, talking about myself because I'm the cutie pie here. I don't know what the fuck. Oh yeah, I was away. I can make this public right away to make this out of the way for the guys that are asking and shit like that. Hello. I was away because for medical reasons, shit happened. So I had to leave my house and everything. I went to the hospital. I stood there, and now I came back. I'm chilling and doing some things and playing games. And I came here to play some games with my fellow goons and raise morale because you guys love me. Thank you a lot. I'm still the cutest twink playing this game. Don't forget, subscribe to this channel.
What did we just listen to?
I don't know.
Listen to an
I tried.
advertisement.
I tried to do a fucking propaganda brisk type of thing, but I
It
don't
didn't
know.
work out, the Chlorian.
And I'm
Fuck.
and I'm not on my phone, okay? Like I don't know what the fuck happened. Sometimes Eve takes a lot of shit. So they're just like,
I'm sure.
shut
I'm
it
sure
down.
it's useful.
It takes a lot. Okay, actually, so our last episode was fantastic with Jim's house got sitting there talking about A, how we fucking kicked some ass Wednesday night, and then B, like what was gonna come up this weekend, right? Or that weekend. So obviously Mifune and I and a couple of us were on the stream during the show, and we I called it when they were gonna jump in, which was an hour ahead. And then B, like, as it's rolling in, I'm like, oh dear Lord, this is not going well for them. The
And this really sucks because we are the because of course everything interesting in EVE Online with this war happens on a Friday, a Thursday night, a Friday, or a Saturday morning. Because of course the meta show has to be the first thing to talk about everything.
The meta show is never the first thing to talk about anything. Have you forgotten that Push to Talk exists?
Well,
Mifune?
Push to Talk.
Rude.
Push to Talk gets to talk first, and then it's meta show, and then we're like the last show to be able to talk about something like this. So I know it's been talked to death all week.
Talking about, they're always like the last in the news cycle. The meta show is always last.
Yeah, the meta show is
Sometimes,
always the
yeah.
last. No, it's almost ever.
we got to talk about the Keepstar fight first, other than like talking stations talking every fucking day about something in Eve. I don't know how they're gonna do that, but dear Lord.
Was there an official name for the second battle of M2?
The massacre.
Yeah, it was
The massacre.
M2 Massacre. I mean, we called it on the show the Pew Pew and M2 Round 2 Electric Boogaloo, but
that's too
there
hard
was
for
no
some people.
fight. There was no fight, so it's like,
Yeah.
I mean,
There was no
honestly,
pew, there was only just death.
That was
no
seriously just Brisk showing off his 90s hip hop skills.
like, I don't even know if massacre is the right adjective to use to describe that fight. Like, oof.
So speaking of that fight, we have a wonderful propaganda video that was posted 30-ish minutes before the show started, and I really want to share it on stream. So I believe I'm gonna set that up in a minute here. It's about a 3-minute propaganda video, but it is so worth it.
Okay, this is not going to go well.
All right, let's see
so
it.
while you're working on that, I want to JP. JP is a brand newbie. He just started what, 2 months ago?
Yeah, about.
Okay. And I had the bright idea of like, no, leave him in high cycle, let him learn how to play the game. And everyone else was like, nah, get him down here. And they tried to do down to nullsec in the middle of a fucking war. So tell us how it's been and quickly. And then please tell us what your experiences was Wednesday and Thursday. Or sorry, Wednesday and Saturday.
Before answering that, you need to answer something else.
Oh my God.
Okay.
First of all, when you shower from top to bottom or bottom to top?
Top to bottom.
Okay. You are a smart guy. I love you. Let's continue. How do you cut sandwiches? What's the right way of attacking a sandwich when you cut it?
I don't
Diagonally.
I just eat a sandwich because I'm not a fucking child.
Okay.
Okay,
Let's
so tell
continue.
us about A, what it's been like to join Goonswarm, and B, tell us what your experience was being in the largest battle in EVE history.
So it's been great. In the 2 months, I have done a lot of target painting. I've used gallons and gallons of paint, and it has been a fun and interesting experience.
Is that the only ship you can still get into when it comes to the doctrines?
I'm about to get into a Hecate,
Woo!
Is that
which
in
will
a
be nice.
doctrine anywhere?
No,
Oh.
It's
So
just something he wants to do. There's nothing wrong with that.
No, there's not. It's just like Dawn was like, "Is that the only ship that you can fly in the doctrines?" And then he goes, "Oh yeah, I'm about to get into a Hecate."
oh yeah, that
Like-
is true.
So
My question about that Hecate then: do you plan to blaster or sniper fit it? Blaster.
Okay, good boy.
Though my experience with the battle at M2 is partially the reason I'm trying to get into a Hecate. When I was in the brunt of it with all of that lag, I forgot that I had to turn my settings down or anything. So it took me 30 minutes to get out of system once my target painter eventually became useless in that fight. And so I went and tried to get camper reinforcements with a small band of other people, just making sure they couldn't get anybody else in the system without bridging.
Can we please say Hecate?
Yes, we should acknowledge that everyone in chat is correct, and anybody who says it any way other than Hecate is incorrect.
It's
but-
Hecate.
Yeah, it's
And
Hecate,
has-
like the Mexican beer. Come on, guys.
Has always been Hecate.
Hecate.
I will accept. I will accept he cat. That's almost okay.
Yeah, he cat is way
He-Man.
more funny.
Hey, Kate. I've seen some
He-Man?
interesting ways to say it per se in chat.
We gotta get a CCP convict to so we gotta steal him over here just so that he can tell us how to pronounce it.
Yeah,
I just
already
did.
told you.
I
Well, some
seriously
say,
just
like-
did. It's Greek. It's the goddess. It's Hecate.
my
This
It's
is not
Hecate.
up for discussion.
And I already told you, you don't need TCP convert. You have me. I'm way cuter. Let's stop this discussion. Okay.
Okay, well, in any case, the propaganda video is ready. Is everyone ready to see this?
Yeah.
I have a question for DeClorian first.
Yes.
Go for it.
Are you wearing a turtleneck, dude?
He is.
What is a turtleneck? It's this?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Actually, it
it's a
doesn't
turtleneck.
fold over, so I don't think it's called a turtleneck. We'd have to get
It does
a ruling
fold
on that.
over.
It does fold over. It's a
Oh,
turtleneck.
okay, yeah. turtleneck.
I haven't seen one of those in like a decade.
All right, so I will say the quality of the video isn't the best, but the subtitles, this is gonna be great.
Oh,
This is gonna be
Turtleneck's
great.
Turtleneck's just an uncircumcised T-shirt,
somebody
right?
not put Nazi propaganda
All
up
right,
on
so
the
here we go.
screen, please?
Here we go.
What
Here
the
we go.
Fuck
Ready?
am I watching?
Oh, this is
That
fine.
mustache.
Oh, this one. Okay.
Oh, hold up.
It's not
It's
as bad
muted.
as I
It's
thought it was
muted
gonna
because
be.
I muted it because of the ad. The ad that was playing on the site beforehand.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
There we go.
Top
Hold up.
level production here,
Production
guys.
Top level
quality,
production.
boys and girls, production quality.
Is it gonna play or are we stuck on like
No, here we go.
horribleness?
paellera. Venga, que las 2 de la tarde ya están aquí. Miren, bañador.
Oh, what
La
happened?
chancla.
I don't know.
Todo
Someone died.
terminado porque no me dio tiempo de nada ponerme la chancla y el bañador. Voy a la playa,
Mifune,
ya
it's
subió
still
la marea.
muted, dude.
Is it still muted?
Doesn't matter. I'm trying to read. Shut the fuck up. I cannot do two things at the same time.
¡Tú! ¡Había subido la marea con triple paella! Y la encontré
for fuck's
porque
sake.
te estaba
Yeah,
estaba la
Mifune, you gotta get
paellera
the volume
agarrada
going, man.
entre metí entre
No,
las
it
piernas
is
y
going,
encima
Greg.
del
We
cuadro.
just
It's
can't
going.
Y cuando entro en el restaurante
You
me
need
ve
to
el
turn
cocinero
it
con
down.
una paellera
Ah,
y
okay.
a ver solamente paellera.
Greatest thing in the universe.
For fuck's sake.
Llegaba el agua al restaurante. Había subido la marea.
This is a terrible captioning.
¡Ay, que se ahora! Con los dos sacos de arroz. Llama para Sevilla. Llama a Sevilla. Que traigo
I need to censor these videos before you try to put them up.
Yeah.
Oh, these are great. It's great though. I mean, you can't tell me this ain't great.
It's
tú y yo
interesting.
con el bañador. El cocinero.
You have the
No
one
vea,
from.
para Sevilla. Me,
No,
y al
no
último que
video
cuando
on.
ya salió la
No
Virgen
video.
No,
Reina,
I'm not
estamos
saying
llorando.
that. Yeah.
Me cobró el tío la... me cobró a 500 veces y ya no fui más. Me fui andando a coger los amarillos hasta hoy.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
I'm gonna stop it there because we have other things to talk about. But y'all, I linked it into the chat for those who want to watch the rest of it later. But that thing is fucking hilarious, and I loved every second of it.
Everyone's propaganda, best thing ever.
I know.
A big shout out to Balthazar Sessor for putting
making
that
that.
together for Goonswarm.
Oh,
What a
Balthazar,
fucking hero.
that's my fucking bro, man.
Nice.
I didn't even knew you was fucking doing that. Fucking amazing.
I have no idea what's happening.
The video is now in the stream chat for those who are interested in it.
Not in it, Imperium.
Well,
And it is Imperium.
and it
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
Imperium, and
You need-
in it, by the way, has done a fantastic job all throughout
Yeah.
this week. They've been hammering hard on it. It's great.
And yes, Balthazar is a hero. It's an unappreciated goon
Can you
hero.
drag Dirk
Yes,
back
he
now?
is.
He had disconnect. I can't drag people, and I don't know why.
Yeah,
I can give rolls.
You could give rolls, but you can't. Okay, don't. I'm not even gonna question.
Don't know. Dirk, you came back. Baby, come back.
Just
Never
saying that again. Balthazar is an unappreciated goon hero. All claps for Balthazar.
So I ragged into them on. I was asking questions on Tuesday, trying to understand the fucking thought process, and basically came down to they got lazy and they didn't think about what could go wrong.
Well, as
Which,
far
you know, like at some point, like, yeah, I mean, honestly, at some point you're just like, well, I fucked up.
I want
I do.
the opinion of Caleb on this. Caleb, what do you think? I still think that they were trying to push the servers to crash.
No, I don't think so. I think they
No,
were just
so-
dumb.
Yeah, I the thing is, I never want to think that my enemy is dumb. I never want to do that. So I need to come up with excuses, and that's the only excuse that I came up with.
Crashing
I-
the server
I'm
wouldn't
being
help them in
told
any
that-
way, shape, or form.
The according to Villy, between what he said on the New Eden Post after the fight and compared to what he said on Tuesday and the various statements that were released, my understanding is that Villy said, we're going to jump all these Titans in. We're eventually going to get in, but we're going to lose 10 to 20 Titans in the process. And that's a necessary loss to get all of them in there. What he was not expecting was he was expecting the server to shit itself, but he didn't expect the server to shit itself that badly.
That's
I
the
just
thing.
share-
Like, I do not.
share-
That's the normal approach. Go, Caleb. Sorry.
Can I just share a little piece of philosophy and with the Chlorian on this? Because always assume incompetence instead of malice. It makes your life a lot better.
Yeah,
And trust me, it's often true.
Yeah, that's true. But I never like to do that. But again, that's what I was
people are
saying. Like,
dumb.
because assuming that line of thought that that he said that okay, we are going to jump in, lose 20 Titans, and then we eventually can start fighting. Like, that's the normal approach, and I don't want to believe that they thought with already 500 guys, 5,000 guys in the system, jumping 1,000, it's going to only put a delay on 20 Titans. Like, even if that worked, it wouldn't be only 20 that would die. That's my line of
PGL
thought.
said 50 would be his comfortable number.
Yeah,
So,
50 I can
you know.
believe that. Okay, I didn't heard PGL thing, because 20 I don't believe that.
The other thing is that with my various discussions I've had with some people, is that their plans were also including to the destroy the Keep Star before any kind of PvP would occur, and that's what they were expecting. They were expecting to eat losses until the Keep Star died, and then they hoped that in the Keep Star dying, that it would force us as goons to reposition on the battlefield.
Yeah.
That's what their plan was.
Our plan was
Wouldn't it
to.
make sense to put damage on the Keep Star then? Like even if it was
They
just
couldn't.
subcap
They
damage
They
or
couldn't
trade
because
damage, right?
because they couldn't activate their modules. And for those who don't know, if you've ever gone into a tie-dye fight and you're stuck in that warp tunnel animation and it says, you've got air traffic control, you're going to be 180 seconds until you get through the system. They were stuck on that for 6 hours. They were stuck on that warp tunnel screen for 6 hours, and they couldn't activate any of their modules. They couldn't target anything. They couldn't see anything in their overviews.
But that's because they tried to dump all their big shit in
That's because
7,000 at once, right?
That's what happens when you take one Sino and try to jump over 1,000 Titans through that one Sino.
They had 30 Sinos up there, but details. So I did ask Villy this question, like, if you had, he exaggerated, said he had 15 subcat fleets ready to go, but I negotiated down to 6. I asked him, I was like, why didn't you just send 6 subcat fleets when you saw how much we had? And he said, if I had known that things were going to go that way, yeah, he would have just suicided the subcaps in. But,
Dawn, I have something quite important on this, right? Because apparently a small clip of mine have been trending on Reddit for this past week. Really,
we'll get to that.
No, but could we stop asking Villy for comments? Because if you notice, all the other Pappy people that has been asked about these things have made complete sense, and they've been truthful, and they've been honest, and they've been actually saying everything that you would expect if you want an honest answer. Every time you ask Villy something, you seem to have to negate it and turn it upside down to actually get the truth.
That's why I was saying that, but that's exactly why I was like putting myself like up ahead and saying like I don't trust that that's the call, because it was Villy to say that. Because from what I've seen since the beginning of the war, like that's not. And that's another thing that we were talking earlier about being dumb or assuming dumb calls. That's one of the things that we discussed since the beginning of this war. The most difficult part, even when we created GSFOE, was not to win the war. It was to being able to dumb ourselves to be able to predict what the fuck they were going to do, like the next dumb call that they were going to do. So it's really, yeah.
So,
I don't even know how to fucking fight that.
Like, okay, sorry, someone messaged me. It was like trying to get an answer. Like, basically, all the answers were like, no one thought this was a bad idea. We thought this was the most tactical decision we could make. And if we had known what was going to happen, obviously they would have done things very differently. But like, I question their callousness for just throwing away 50 Titans.
I mean, if you're going to go into that sort of situation, you're going to have to accept that you're going to eat a bunch of losses up front and try and pull back. That's just the fact of that kind of scenario, especially when you're doing something so moronic like jumping into a few thousand heavy fighters. It's a questionable decision. Certainly, I would hope it would not be a call that any of our Supercap FCs would make, but if you're going to make the call, you have to accept that you are going to eat some losses. That said, I don't think it was a tactical decision at all.
So
I think it was a morale decision completely and utterly. I think they hyped themselves so hard about this fight, and they hyped their line members so hard about this fight that they couldn't not make the call to jump in.
Yeah,
without
but that's
completely screwing themselves on a line member morale front.
It's also another thing. Like if you are on their side and you still like want to assume, oh, we have way more supers than they have. If they want to still assume that from what they've been telling their people all this time, like if they choose to lose 50 Titans, so they can then take a fight, and even if they take an even fight after those 50 Titans, so imagine that we lose 200 Titans, they lose 200 Titans, and then the 50 at the beginning. If you are on the Peppy side, and if you still believe that you have more Titans, it's sort of a win because you can replace them easier than we can. But then we showed you that we can replace them way easier. So again, it was a call made assuming some things that may not be as certain as you might think.
No, I'm not a tactician here, but I did call Villy out on this just to try and understand the thought process for signing in on the fighters. And I asked him, I was like, why would you sign to 3.5 million DPS and 8 million volley with all of your Titans, where you have potentially up to 30 minutes to an hour where you can't do anything? And he said that was the most tactical decision that they could make. And I'm looking at him and I'm like, really? There was literally the rest of the Keepstar that didn't have fighter bombers. You know how slow those things move in tie-dye? Even when you recall them? They don't have, like, they were mostly space superiority stuff too. So, like, you know, you had a couple heavy fighter bombers and then some space superiority. The heavy fighter bombers, they don't have a micro warp drive that I think, or do they? Does
They
that
have
one
an
have a micro warp
afterburner.
drive? Oh, they have the afterburner? Okay. It would still take them forever to get 300 or 400 kilometers to you on the other side. You would have eaten maybe 20, 30 Doomsdays, and that would have been it. That would have been 1 or 2 dead Titans. And then
So,
you'd have some time. At least that's what I thought, but I could be wrong.
like, since we were talking about like their planning and stuff, and DeClorian mentioned, you don't want to assume your enemy's stupid, right? So with that being said, I'm sure their command team has some guys that are slightly tactically sound, I would assume. Why didn't anybody step up to say this is a fucking terrible idea? Like, do you guys have any thoughts on that?
So pretty much, I think
I
that
have a
goes.
wonderful thought on that.
That I think
Mifune is going to be annoyed at me if I bring up my thought just now.
Why do you assume no one
probably.
did?
So I'm going to take what Dirk said earlier with the fact that they hyped this thing up to their line members so much. And we talked about this with Brisk and the breaking news team before the fight happened, was that they hyped it up so much that if they were to stand down, or if they said that we need to fix this, or any kind of delay like that, and the morale would have been gone. Line member morale would have been gone if they didn't take that fight.
Well, I mean, I'm not saying not to take the fight, but have like a plan B or different approach or something to adapt to the situation that unfolded before them.
The fun
I
thing
think it's
is,
just an organization part. It's just an organization thing.
Yeah.
It's the way the organization is structured. So the way that they do things like Villy and PGL do the calls or whatever, and basically no one has the balls to, because no one has jobs or properly specific responsibilities. No one has the balls in place to say something up to them. So if
Why
they
do you
say
assume
jump,
that?
you are not saying no.
Why do you assume no one protested? At least before everything went down.
No.
I mean,
I assume some people protested.
Here's
I
a
am.
wonderful quote for you from PGL.
Yeah.
At this point, the only choice should have been to stand down, but unfortunately, no one stepped up to be the bad guy and really put their foot down. So a plan with way too much risk was put together and ultimately attempted. PGL posted that in his like big old AAR and like future plans thing that's recently been leaked. It is in the Theta Thursday chat in Discord if anybody wants to see it.
Yeah.
So I think we want to segue into that as part of this whole battle discussion. Was that basically PGL released a statement? In the general gist of it is PGL apologizing to his line members. And I think the biggest point that I want to make, that I have to give respect for, some props for to PGL, is that beforehand they told their line members, you know, if there was ever a time to cancel work for Eve, or if there was ever a time to call in sick to play Eve, like now would be that time. And then they didn't get to have a fight. And
yeah, props for apologizing.
So
for
that's
for
a
taking
accountability.
blame as well there a little bit.
Accountability is major props there, and as well as PGL announced, kind of that they're in the process of forming a plan to get rid of the Trap Titans in M2, or at least attempt to get them out.
I just want to say that is the most hilarious part of this entire post. Second last paragraph, PGL is basically going, "Hey, so we're making a plan to make a plan to make a plan."
Yeah.
He's doubling down on the planning.
To make the plan.
So I'm not sure if any of you have ever seen Shrek. I'm sure plenty of people had. But if you've ever seen Shrek, there's a scene right in the beginning of the movie where Lord Farquaad comes out and he's talking about how Shrek's going to go to the fiery castle and rescue the princess from the dragon or whatever. And he goes, "Some of you may die, but that's a risk I am willing to take." Right? And that's pretty much what's going to happen with the first fight and what's going to happen with all the trap stuff at the bottom of M2.
We now do Shrek references. I need to grab that fucking clip from YouTube and caption it.
So, speaking about the bottom of M2, my question is, why didn't they try to bring less in with the Sinos in through the gate and just kind of distract the fighters and then bring in the supers that were already under the Keepstar?
So the fun thing was that we actually had a wizard hat plan, which was kind of the meme before the fight. We had our Titan Armada spread out in a cone around the bottom of the
Yeah, they would
Keepstar.
have just died.
So all of those Titans could have used their DDs. All of those Titans, like, it was just, we had too many Titans. It would be suicide for any capital that logged into that Bubble Fest.
Yeah, just as a point on the numbers there, we had somewhere in the region of like 4 full Titan fleets just in this big old ring underneath the Keepstar. It was, I think I saw an A-dash of like 690 Titans or something.
Um,
It was,
Yeah, it was
You-
660
you-
or something like
insane.
that. Yeah.
But Dirk, you're poor.
We
yes,
are poor.
yes,
Oh,
we are.
yeah.
We are very
Oh,
poor. We are so
Caleb
poor that
is-
we are doing war bonds.
Caleb is chomping at the bit to
But
get
that
to
will
that.
work.
No, it won't, because, nobody has any
Yeah,
trust in the Goonswarm
Yeah.
Directorate to repay us in any
Exactly.
way. Like,
When I
Speaking
heard
of,
that on Tuesday, when I heard that on Tuesday that they were going to do war bonds, I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? You literally rag on us for like a month and a half about these things. Just even mentioning the idea that we're going to potentially do this if we need quick cash. And you guys are going to do it after losing 2 fights? Like it's nothing? Fuck you guys.
I
but
agree.
Seriously,
So-
it's a really bad timing when it comes to doing that. You want to launch something as, well, in my opinion, brilliant as a war bond when you're actually on top. Because that's
Yeah.
when moral will make the
Exactly.
members actually just throw money at you left, right, and center. When you're down and you just had a loss like this, they're going to go, fuck that, I'm not giving you my money.
well,
I
there's
just
a fun
lost a
thing
shit ton,
there.
and
There's a fun thing there, right? Which is that we launched our war bonds. Yeah, sure, we came out ahead. We had them trapped. Morale was high, but we launched our war bonds having lost something like 5.5 trillion ISK in a single slugfest. A lot of people have got to be thinking at that point, you need money to help reimburse them. What happens when this happens again? But either way, I don't think it matters when it comes to Goonswarm, because we do have I think a lot of people in the organization have a lot of faith in the leadership to, even if we come out of this war behind, right? Even if we do have to leave Delve and what have you, I think a lot of people have faith in the leadership to rebuild very quickly, to get a new plan in place, to kind of have contingencies for
And
what the hell
financially-
we have to do.
So the reason I think this has been a big point of discussion with the war bonds is that as the way that the Imperium works, and Brisk and many other people have said this many, many times, the hands of the money are in the players, not the Alliance. The money is in the hands of the players. So when we do something and the Alliance says, we're selling war bonds now because we need to SRP Titans, well, guess what? Why do they need money? Because the Alliance didn't have money in the first place. The players have always had the money within Goon Swarm. So it's the rich players, it's the people that have, it is the people of the Alliance that have the money that go into that SRP. And where it's the opposite in Test, the Alliance has all the money, and the Align members are not as rich compared to the Alliance. So I feel like the Villy bonds are going to fail. Because how are the Align members going to collectively give their money to the Alliance when the players don't have money in the first place? Because the Alliance is supposed to have all the money.
But the problem is, or rather, the positive thing on this is that the conditions of the bonds that are being suggested cannot fail, right? Well, okay, they can, but there's so much time before there's a risk of them actually being junk bonds because the payout per year is enough for it to be able to roll on just bleeding itself, at least for 4 or 5 years. Who's going to be around to claim any blame game on junk bonds in 5 years? No one's going to care.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if I've written off like 11 billion ISK going in on war bonds, I don't care. To be perfectly blunt, like that was
The point is,
cash
no
that I
one,
had lying about. So,
but no one's going to blame them for failing in
Oh,
5
no.
years, right?
Yeah,
Because
because-
then it's
Definitely
like
not.
it's in the past.
No, but what's going to happen when Villy bonds, let's say Villy bonds happen.
They're piggle pennies.
Or the Piggle
Piggle
pennies.
pennies.
Many,
Oh,
brilliant.
many names. That's a great name. Piggle pennies. So
Oh.
let's say I'm a part of Test, and let's say I pay for the war bonds, right? And I give most of the ISK I have back to the Alliance, okay? Now the Test Alliance just went from being kind of poor to a little bit richer, right? And all that ISK goes into replacing their lost Titans. Well, now the Alliance is poor again. And now the line members are poor. So now the Alliance and the line members are both poor in Test. Whereas in Goons, the players are the rich ones in the first place. Like you say, you have 11 billion that you just toss out there, right? Your wallet is not hurting from that. Whereas on Test war bonds, both of their wallets are hurting from the transaction.
But Mifune, you know that Pappy members and the Snakes are already fine with being paid interest in added value, so it's fine.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
the
value.
best thing about this whole thing is that realistically, Goons didn't even need to issue the war bonds to
Yeah,
get the
it was
cash
just
if we needed it for the cause. You know, we need
Exactly.
ISK for coring our structures in Delve, guys. Can you help us out? You know, throw $1 billion.
We
here,
were
$1
like,
billion
hold
there,
our
we'll all
beers.
chip in.
That's the
You
fun
know,
part
like,
because all the
they-
fucking contingency plan, like it has
they-
like way before the war bonds. Sorry.
Well, yeah, but this whole thing, right? You know, the whole war bonds idea. It's them basically going, "Hey, look, we could have just asked you for the cash, and you guys probably would have come through." I mean, hell, at the start of the war, when the Horn of Gundor sounded, Minna literally threw what, like 5 trillion ISK at our
Yep.
war
Two.
chest, something like
2
that.
trillion.
Well, was it only 2? I thought it was more
Yeah,
than that.
it was
Once
It
you
was
added in
two different
goo.
Cabal
Yeah.
members. The total was about 4 trillion.
But yeah,
Pokemon
anyway,
just
point
did one
is,
more trillion or
the
whatever. So
point is, they threw ISK at the Alliance without being asked because they couldn't come back and play the game. But they had these assets, you know, here, you guys are struggling, you are my space tribe, have it. Instead of saying to people, hey guys, can we have some ISK to do these cores? The finance team straight up went, look, we're looking for ISK to fund these cores, but we want to pay you back. We don't want you guys to be taking the hit for this long term. So here's a way for us to repay you, for us to give you a little bit of extra value back on what you're investing in the Alliance. They
Can I
made it
just
an
say one
investment
thing?
rather than a gift, and I think that was, you know, pretty decent.
There's just one thing that would have made this idea even better than war bonds. It would have been a war corporation. Because can you imagine if you had the opportunity to buy into an actual share-based IPO just around the
Wow.
casino wars, and then after all the fat years?
That
So
would have been
Can you imagine the payback
hilarious.
on that?
what the fuck?
So for me, I just love the fact that all of these videos and all of their comments are aging like fine milk. because his rant with Caleb, which was posted and fantastic, was saying that no, when push comes to shove, no member is going to give a alliance they think is losing some money, right? And now they're on the back foot momentum wise, and they're asking for money, which is hilarious. And then I was rewatching the War Bonds video or episode from Trash Talk Tuesday, where they were berating Brisk about war bonds for like an hour, and they were talking about how no one does this. No one, like, when you're CEO, you don't go to your like company and say, "Hey, here's our bankruptcy plan." That just starts ruining your stock. Everybody starts getting negative. Everything's terrible, and
These people
now
don't
they're
read history
eating.
books.
I think
You're
you missed the
eating
entire point
fucking
of my rant
crow,
there,
bitch.
Sean. Like,
Hasn't it been
see
done by
books
every
again.
nation during every war for the last 100 years?
the whole point of my rant there was like, even if goons were losing, if they said they needed ISK, the number of people that would just turn around and be like, "Yeah, sure, let's like
That's the thing.
let's get
But
this, let's keep this going." The tribe aspect there is a lot more strong.
But this is the funny thing about war bonds, because war bonds work in goons because it's done the goon way. Okay, it's an idea of professionalism, of you just thinking of, okay, we want something, okay, we need something, and it may or may not be strictly necessary, but this is a good idea to have. Okay, let's do it the professional way. Let's put it back to our people. Let's make both of the parties win on this. Okay, and people, at least the guys in Imperium, follow along on those lines. That's why the war bonds idea, it's a really good idea for the Imperium, because it works in here. Okay,
Because
I
it's
don't
not
know
individuals and it's not corporations, it's a nation state, right? And if you look in
exactly.
your history books, several of the big nation states have actually issued war bonds during war times. It's like, this is not a novel idea, and it's a proven idea. So I don't understand why they're trying to ridicule it.
Exactly.
It shows that they are ignorant about their history books.
I'm 95% sure that like Britain is still paying out on World War II war bonds somewhere.
Probably are.
I don't know. To be honest, I don't know.
I'm sure we are somewhere.
So one of the topics that I wanted to cover today is what us as Goon Swarm has been able to accomplish since the M2 fight, and since the morale hit of Pappy, and what we've been able to accomplish since then. And one of them is that we captured the entire constellation of NJU Tech QV, which is the constellation of M2, and it's the constellation of ZXB, right at the
No.
end of Fenton.
It is ZXB's constellation. That is the most important system over there. I don't care what anybody says.
Fuck you,
It
dog.
My
really
home.
is.
Fuck you,
and
bitch.
fuck you and fuck your moons.
It really is.
But yeah, GSFOE did a fucking amazing work. Shout out to GSFOE dudes for doing all of that fucking Intos' job. Fucking amazing, guys.
So the fun thing about this means that a Sino Jammer will have to take an additional 35 days to drop an M2, which means that Keepstar is pretty much safe from Pappy's attempt of the Sino Jammers, etc., and all that fun stuff.
We at least have a month break.
Well, yeah, we
can
at least have a
breathe
month
for at
break
least a month.
for that constellation, which is really cool, because the other thing is that, Pappy can't do shit in there anymore. Where their Fortizar dies tomorrow? In that system?
No, it dies tonight.
It dies
No,
tonight.
dies tonight.
It dies.
In a
It
couple
dies
hours.
tonight. I mean, I'm sorry,
So-
guys, but that entire constellation is just cut off. And then, not mind you, we also took the DTech W iHub today, which was Pandemic
Mifune,
Legion's capital. No,
let our
this is
guests
my
tell
rant. No, this is my rant. This is my time, because I put a lot of work into these iHubs. But the DTech W iHub has been reclaimed by Goon Swarm. So that is Pandemic Legion's little capital staging thing that they put out, and they put so much work into getting the ADM up for that system, and they put up such a good fight today, and we won. We took it. That iHub is back in our control. I mean, it's been great just taking back the space that we lost.
I've got to say, I love like Mifune getting really into it and then just kind of like trailing off at the point that he goes, "Yeah, we took it."
I was gonna say
Yeah, I
earlier,
was
like,
gonna ask. Go ahead, Klexos.
I was
Actually,
just gonna say that, I mean, with them two being pretty secure and whatnot, I mean, they can keep feeding us interceptors. I mean, that's cool, I guess.
I too like getting 1 billion kill nails with smart bombing Proteuses.
I was gonna ask. So I know it was a really long fight today over the DTAC-W thing. Who was there, and what can you tell me kind of what happened? Because I know there was like dreads and faxes and tie-dye in some systems and tie-dye in other, and it was like this back and forth battle. But like, what happened? How did it start? And anything interesting in that fight?
So what was fun about DW was that not only was there 10% tie-dye in practically every system of the constellation, but we had a bit of a what's the word for it, tactic, where we had a roke and a fax on every node in every system. And yes, did PL murder a couple of the faxes? Yes, but that's what they're there for. I mean, they're kind of there to get murdered with the Entosis links on them. So that was fun. The fight itself was glorious because it was practically even on both sides. They only outnumbered us by 300 people. Across the whole constellation, they only outnumbered us by 300 people. There were little skirmishes here and there. You had fleets bridging each other from one system to the other so that we wouldn't have to take the gates and tie-dye. It was a hell of a fest. And it was really, really fun. Also, DeClorian, I like the new shirt, the red shirt. He's
I think the
stealing
red
after
and black
Mittens.
contrasting looks pretty good. Yeah.
He's stealing after Mittens, everybody.
So, which one of our guests was there, and what did you see?
In where? Sorry.
Anyone of you out in
I
the
wasn't there. So before it started,
in the Sov battle today?
before the Sov, I missed it. Like literally every time there's a big fleet fight, I fucking miss it. So like today, I was like getting ready for it, and then my grandmother's like, "Oh, can you come over and help me with some technology?" And I'm like, "What time?" She's like, 1:30. I'm like, "Well, fuck, that's like an hour after it starts." So I'm like, "Yeah, I
was
could
at
do
work.
that." So I went over to her place and like walked her dog, and she got like this, like it's like a photo thing, but it's like a live, like it scrolls through photos. So I had to set that up for her. And as I said, I walked her dog. And then there were more fights later, but then I had to make dinner. So it's like every time there's something happening, I gotta do something. And I'm kind
You
of
know what we're really getting from this? What we're really getting from this is that Ragnar is a wholesome person who will like drop everything to go help his grandmother out. Like,
I mean,
Ragnar is the meanest person in Theta. He
Well,
was
Ragnar
like
used to be
about
wild.
That's
Now
not
he's
true.
domesticated.
I don't know what you're talking about, Don. I am
you were
the
lubing
kindest
up off
soul.
of Pappy's tears. Like you were
Well,
ready
yeah,
to go.
I mean, who
you
doesn't want to do
you
that?
like cupped your hands underneath Billy's eyes and was like, "Keep going."
Yeah, you know it.
I was like, no, like it's already bad enough. Don't be mean. Like they already feel terrible.
No, twist the knife. When we were eating shit, they didn't give us any rest, so why should we?
I'm with
Like, I'll admit it,
Ragnar
we were
here.
eating shit for a bit, but like, that's what happens. And now the shoe's on the other foot, so of course I'm gonna give him shit. And I'm still farming salt in T5Z, by the way. And I created a whole alt just for it too. So more updates on that later tonight.
What I think I really enjoy about the whole Salt Fest and everything is that for this entire war, and you guys can go back and watch previous episodes of Theta Thursday, we have said on this show before that Tappy gets a small victory and Brave shit posts all over Reddit. And they have been for 6 months now. We start shit posting after we start winning, and our posts start getting deleted by Reddit mons who are in Dreadit that are unhappy with goon propaganda.
I did hear about that.
Reddit. Oh, why are you looking at Reddit?
Because it's fun to like drag your balls across.
It's fun to farm salt. Like,
I mean,
why else would you use Reddit?
Like
There's some golden memes that have come out of Reddit over the last week.
Yeah, like
And there's a few-
Cryo, for example, who is my mini true hero of making propaganda. His Reddit post today was removed because of reasons. Let me go find the reason.
It said it was a low effort meme
because it was a
but
low
he,
effort
literally
meme.
made all the graphics for it.
Yeah, but
except
it
the
doesn't
Tesla
matter.
logo.
It was just like some words and then like a logo. There
There's
was
I
also at
mean,
least-
can you do that, Don?
Yeah, I can actually.
All
I
right,
had
do
the
it right
program.
now. Make it exactly the same.
Dawn
Hold on,
is,
where's
from
the
Dawn is
scratch.
good enough at technology to make cryo level art, but she can't figure out how to run a stream. Wow. Good job, Dawn.
There's also the
Bitch.
obvious answer, right? That we know that there's at least 2 goons that have this weird fetish when it comes to Reddit. One of them is Dave Stark, and the other is Asher. So it's really to support them that most goons go there.
Dave is the weirdest one. On channel, he doesn't want to talk much. Like, he'll talk a little bit, but he's pretty quiet, right? In Reddit, he is like fucking fire. He's like, fuck you all. I hate
Dave's
I'm gonna
posts
just
on
go
Reddit.
in there. I'm gonna make you hate yourself.
Dave's posts
What are you
on
doing,
Reddit
dog?
is my greatest thing ever because it's so funny.
It's a job.
Are we gonna get another puppy view here soon, or?
Okay, guys, I just need to share this with you. While I was showing the Discord on that screen, on the other on the laptop screen, and basically, Milord John Artley was threatening me of kicking me from Shadow's Dead because of that. Now I'm afraid.
Because of what?
Because
I
I
mean,
was
because
showing
he
my
had Discord.
Discord.
This is what you get for breaching OPSEC, DeClorian. You just
It-
need a good slap.
For fuck's sake, it's always the same shit. I'm always reaching OPSEC.
You're just bad at it.
I'm really careful, to be honest. I try to never say shit. But at least now you know that Milord Artley is watching us, guys, so behave yourselves. I already sent a kiss to the camera to prove my allegiance.
I'm waiting for angry ping from John about DeClorian
Oh.
breaking OPSEC.
So going back to Dawn, can we see that puppy?
Yeah. Are we able to see the puppy again? Or is
What,
we
the
have to wait
puppy?
longer?
Let me
Show us
tag
Eve.
this. She is asleep right now, so let me text my mother and see if she's awake.
I mean, just get a picture or something. A current new picture.
A new picture? Okay, I'll get a new
That'll
picture.
keep them satisfied. It'll keep the dogs away for at least a little while.
Okay, she's asleep in her puppy bed, but my mother did send me a picture. So
Okay.
I will
We
shove
will
that on
post it.
screen in a second here.
So we are talking about Mifune's puppy and not my puppy.
Well, my puppy's name
Where's
is
your
Eve.
fucking puppy's pictures?
So
not-
Your nothing.
We should make
Easy.
it an official
Easy.
request somewhere that we get every Imperium member's puppy pictures if they have them.
Oh, you don't want that.
Already
Oh, yes,
on
I
it.
do. It
Oh,
would be a
okay.
feature.
Okay.
We just had
my puppy's,
Merkelton's
like-
on screen, right, this weekend.
Yeah, we are talking about different puppies.
I was about to say, I don't think DeClorian's puppy is a actual dog.
The
Oh, there
DeClorian
goes-
puppy is a bit not safe for work, but you know.
there goes Eve. She's currently downstairs in her little puppy bed, asleep.
She's so cute.
Aww.
What kind of puppy is it?
She is a black lab mix. She is 8 weeks old, and she's the most adorable thing on the planet. At the moment, her favorite thing to do is bite my thumb and then immediately go under the couch and pretend like I can't see her hiding underneath the couch. And then the thing is that, you know, she thinks it's a game and I ignore her and then she pops her little head out. But sometimes she'll get stuck underneath the couch and then I gotta lift the entire couch just to get her out.
Can we just point out that her graying colors around her nose is really funny because that's usually the kind of color that labs get when they're like, what, 11 and 12 years old?
Actually getting old, yeah.
She's adorable, though. I love her so much.
Okay, now Mifune has a puppy. So.
Oh, is this Dawn's puppy now that I'm shoving up here?
No.
Oh, this is JP's dog.
It is pretty fucking cute, though. It's just puppy now. Sorry, guys. When show's over, we're just going to talk about dogs for another hour. No, I'm kidding.
Okay,
Yay!
The problem is this week has been so good. So much. Like, I feel like I did a pretty dang good job of asking questions and shrekking some bitches in on Tuesday. I thought I did pretty good. And then our stream Saturday was pretty good with them like fucking up terribly.
So this is
I can't-
JP's
like-
puppy. This is JP's puppy, who's adorable.
Aww.
His name is Zeus.
His name is
Zeus?
Zeus. It's
Yes.
a great name.
Wow, beagles.
It's great because he's scared of thunder.
Is he scared? Oh my god.
Yeah, it's
No.
ironic.
So we mowed the lawn today, and Eve went, and she was so scared of the lawnmower. But the thing is that my mom stopped the lawnmower, and Eve just kind of trotted up right next to my mom, sat right next to the mower, and walked along with the mower on the side.
Mifune, can I just
Sounds
point something
dangerous.
out? Just a small thing, right? Imagine if your hearing was 16 times what it is now. I get annoyed about lawnmowers. Can you imagine what dogs must feel like?
Look, I can't. I don't know what. Eve is very weird. She's adventurous. She really is. She heard a bird in the tree the other day, and she tried to jump up on the fence to say hello to the bird. She loves to be adventurous. I don't know what it is. She likes to try like a bajillion and one new things every day.
Okay, you have my puppy there now also. Now everyone's showing their puppy.
Not
We should
Victorian's
maybe have a
puppy.
contest for next week and have everyone
No.
send their pictures of their smug pets in for Theta.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, if you guys want to send pictures on our INN Discord, that is a great way to stay engaged with us throughout the week. So you all should definitely come check it out, so that way we can all chit chat. I know that it's being more and more active. Oh, it's a French bully.
I'm trying to,
There's a
like-
link. There's a link
Aw.
to the INN Discord while you're all enjoying that wonderful picture. There's a link in Twitch chat to the INN Discord. It's free for anybody to go ahead and join, and nobody's gonna say, oh, hey, you're a test spy, you get the fuck out or anything. It's just where we talk about the news and other random bullshit. For any Imperium members, actually, the INN Discord is where you need to be in order to get your Discord, your Jabba relay to your Discord PMs. So, that's another thing. If you didn't know that existed, you can have Jabba relayed through to your Discord PMs if you are part of the INN Discord and follow the relevant forum post. I don't know where it is. Get it all on mobile.
Yeah. I get pinged all night if I leave my computer on. So
I think I know why Mifune's face just lit up. Anybody else catch that?
This is Kalexos's puppy. If Discord actually wants to start working again.
Yeah, my puppy. I just took it out of the Instagram feed things.
This is Kalexos's puppy.
Oh,
I love this.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Whose
pup is
those
that?
ears. That one's mine.
Oh my god.
cute.
Such
Yeah,
an
she's
adorable-
a purebred Belgian Malinois.
He is pretty.
That's awesome.
Eyes,
Right?
big old eyes. It's so
See,
cute.
I'm telling you guys, we should have a trending hashtag. Imperial pets, Imperial puppies.
oh yeah.
Um,
Now we need to
I don't
have
have
fishes
that.
because of mittens. Oh,
Because of mittens, we all need to get fish.
Hug Muffin is asking why we don't have fish love. We don't have fish love because we're not the mittens level nerd.
Because not only are we not the mittens level,
Dirk,
level nerd,
let's
but-
no. Let's recap here. Dirk, I have a degree in zoology and I've worked in zoos and aquariums taking care of $1 million fishes. So yes, I would class myself as a fish enthusiast as well. I helped raise thousands of seahorses, sharks, stingrays, took care of some penguins, which is great. So
you went from seahorses to sharks. It's pretty hard, but okay.
My main
let's
thing-
continue.
my main thing was seahorses, but I did help out in all the other areas with the sharks and the stingrays, and I got to hand feed those the moray eels, the tropical fish, coral, and then I got to help out with the penguins usually at least 2 or 3 times a week, hand
My
feeding
God, it's
and
amazing.
petting penguins, which was awesome.
Oh my god, so jelly.
What's
the
your
way,
It was
favorite
so
sea
cute.
creature?
Don't even start.
Oh, this is
Nobody-
going to be in
no-
the new data question. What's your favorite sea creature?
Right. No, but seriously, isn't it an evolution of the whole antagonist thing, right? You start out being a good guy, you have a dog. If you then are like the evil boss genius, you have a cat. If you're then like 007 level bad guy, you have weird fish.
What if I have a crab?
I think you're in the middle between
Web
stage
just
1 and stage
fucked up.
2 evil genius.
What if he pinches people?
And he's very well trained, then you might actually be some sort of ninja.
Sweet.
You have a
Whoever
career
just said narwhals.
Pennywise. You should have a career Pennywise.
You say narwhals? Yes.
Oh god. I need to buy a fish for the next fucking show. Oh god.
12 betas at one point, all in individual tanks on my desk in
Wait,
college.
what? 12 betas?
The Chinese fighting fish or
Odds.
whatever.
My mind went somewhere else.
We know.
Oh,
the
we know
I
it,
Florian
dude.
wish,
just like
I wish I had 12 betas in college. That would have been great, but I didn't. So I had fish.
Thanks, Don.
what
Very
is
cool.
wrong with you all?
We actually, no, we okay. At one point in my dorm room, because my roommate was also a zoology student. In my college room, we had 12 beta fish, two millipedes, a tarantula, an iguana, 2 snakes, and I'm sure we had at least 1 or 2 things else.
What kind of snakes?
A ball python and a rainbow boa at the time.
And what possessed you to own a millipede as a pet?
They were really pretty.
Oh,
I had
okay, fair enough.
ivories.
They
So they
creep
were
me
black and
out.
white
So
striped. They were zebra ones.
fair enough.
I actually bred them, not because I tried to, it just kind of happened, and then I got to sell the babies. So I am an official millipede breeder.
That is terrifying.
Yeah, for the
It
people
was
that are
tough.
asking, the OnlyFans cam that you can see on the stream on Discord, that's just my setup for the webcam.
He
And
has
it's
his
a
own
meme, so-
Discord account for his.
Yeah, I
his
have a
webcam.
cameraman there. Okay, that's the OnlyFans cam. It's a guy that's there with the cam just recording me.
Is that like a pro OnlyFans setup you've got there?
Yeah,
Certainly.
that's
better
why.
than
Like
Bristol
you see
setup.
different lights. You see white on my left and yellow on my right. That's because of the different setups. Like I can use for different things and shit like that.
I mean,
I'm
like
not going to
Brisk-
elaborate
Brisk
on that
isn't-
because of Twitch rules, but
Brisk
yeah.
isn't anywhere close to as professional as this with his OnlyFans setup.
Not
I
even
mean,
close.
We only get like hand shot shower pics. It's
Not even close.
you could do with a step up on that front.
That's because his ambition level is only like 90s swinger club porn.
I wouldn't say swinger, but okay. Everything else I'm fine with. So what's the next topic? Let's see.
Well, didn't a swinger drama actually cause a rather big war in Eve Ones?
It did?
Almost certainly. I honestly I don't know what there is left for us to cause wars over. So almost certainly.
Oh, you can all fight over me. It's all good.
Nobody wants to
We're
fight
okay.
over you.
What,
Oh,
what
fuck you.
happened? What happened to the old fashioned? Let's just start a war because why the hell not?
I mean, well, no.
I mean,
Grudges
logic.
and stuff started wars a lot of the time, but
You,
at the same point, you know, there was still something to go and like hate.
There's only like 2 actual grudges that I can think of that still exist, and that's pandemic Horde's vendetta against us for the faction forts, and then Test just being a straight up jelly that we're better than them. That's the only grievances I can think of. Or Villy's grievance about not getting his old position back in Goonswarm.
There's the Panfam Goons thing that has been going for literally more than a decade now, just as a start, Mifune.
But that's the thing, Mifune. You always in a war. This is why this war in specific, could never be won by anyone else in Goons. Okay, because there is just one simple fact: every time that you want to pull a war this size, where you need to really muster up all the numbers that you can, you always need to bring those mechanics of us versus them. You need to really cramp that up. And us, the Imperium, has a way bigger excuse to be in a war because we are defending ourselves than anyone else. That's why our morale can never really fall. It cannot happen. It's really literally impossible. If it does, it's because we need to rebuild.
DeClorian, you missed it. I was pretty negative Nancy in December. So having a very good start to January, at least Eve-wise, was very nice because I needed it myself. But I'm more emotional maybe than others. So
that's the thing, but no one takes whenever you say seriously, because
what
you thought that Mittens show on the Red Line's show, like Mittens appearing there, was way too much. Are you crazy? It was fucking on point. It was on point. It was so fucking glorious. It's exactly what you were expecting from him.
I figured that's what was
he
gonna
delivered
happen,
it.
but it's still
And he
just
delivered it like a fucking boss.
Mm-hmm.
Oh god, it was so good. I love it. I really cannot forget about it. It was so good.
Oh, so so tonight there's some stuff happening. I know some of it's kind of starting now, so I don't know how, but I don't have to go anywhere. I'm kind of set up headline. And then there is going to be some more action later, and then I assume we're going to have some action this weekend. Let's theorycraft here. What can Pappy do at this point to even try to get the momentum back? Is it gonna have to be they just throw a hammer at us?
Or
is it gonna be
what it is I feel like PGL's admittance, him admitting to the mistakes of M2, that brought their morale a little bit up, and that's shown.
Can someone pull Dirk, please?
Did Dirk
PDC's as much as I am right now, so
there he is. Hi, Dirk. But I feel like the thing is that it's evident that they kind of need a win.
Yeah.
Right? They need to win something. It doesn't matter what, they need to win something, and that's a start to bring their morale back up.
Because we need to keep our hubris, as Lord Asher likes to bring up. We need to, we're super duper fucking smug and excited and giant flipping the birds everywhere, but we need to make sure that we keep it in real perspective here. They do still have 3 times our numbers, so if they get their heads out of their asses, they might be able to put up a fight. But even today, at 300 people more than us, they lost the timer.
Well, goons need to do something, because apparently when it comes to the whole wood chipper dumb, which I still think was a little bit dumb, it was a waste of money for a strategic purpose that would not really make sense. It would eventually happen anyways. So when Pappy then one-upped goons and went, oh, we can sacrifice Titans, that means that the game is hold my beer. You have to do something really dumb.
I just don't know why they didn't just use their subcap fleets. It's not like fighter bombers are very effective against subcaps on supers comparatively to a subcap fleet. So we would have to figure out, do we just use our rogue fleet and our whatever other fleet we had, Baltic fleet out there, or do we just plink at them and then go home, or do we
I believe it
reship?
I believe it was on Reddit, which is a great source. There were 2 posts that stood out to me. I don't have them saved, otherwise I would throw them up here for everyone to look at. But they were from two line members from Brave. And basically, one of them was stating about how his trust in Villy and his trust in the war effort was shaken because of what happened at M2. And that's a summary of his little post. And the other one was all about how look at the hellfest that was M2, and M2 was over a keep star that had no actual strategic value. So what's going to happen when Pappy has to make that push into 1DQ, and he had doubts about the actual plausibility of Pappy winning some kind of fight in 1DQ. So I feel like they have to win back that trust of their line members, that they know what they're doing.
Well, so they're asking him for money. They're on the back foot, and I remember I was discussing with Villy was saying like, oh, that's right. We were asking him why they didn't contest M2 and the entire Constellation soft timer like at all. But Villy couldn't answer because he wasn't there. So Sandrin said, "You guys outformed us." I want that to sink in first. We outformed Pappy.
I mean, this is only
That's-
4 days after. This is only 4 days after Sandrin said that that the fights in M2 opened the gates to Delve, and they could outform us whenever.
That was Shattered Armor.
Was that Shattered Armor? Well,
That was Shattered
either
Armor.
way, one of them turned around and said, "Hey, like these big fights, they are, opening the gates to Delve, and that there will not be another thing that can stop them steamrolling through now," or words to that effect.
Now, real quick, chat. Don't be mean to other hosts on other shows. I'll start muting you all, just because, like, that's part of Twitch rules. So keep it together, guys. All right, that's all I ask, is just keep it to fucking together. Okay, so we outformed them for the M2 timers, and then as we were discussing that, Billy said, we were like, why didn't you make a token effort of anything? You were only one fleet down from us. That's not that big a deal. And, we've been doing that all fucking war. And he's like, a token effort will ruin morale more than help. I don't, what do you guys think about that? Do you agree with that or not agree with that? Is it subjective? What do you think?
Long term, yeah. A token move is always going to hurt morale more than it helps. Because the thing about a token move is it's a gesture. It's just a thing that you do to try and get people to go, okay, great, let's get back on the horse. It's not long-term change, it's not long-term strategy, it's not long-term planning that people can comprehend. It's just a token. So, yeah, sure. Short term, a token move might help them recover some of that morale that they lost getting absolutely massacred 2 big fights in a row. But over like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, if those efforts aren't consistent and don't actually show an improvement, morale's just going to tank even harder.
Well, yeah, like obviously if you just keep losing, it's going to get worse and worse and worse. But it's just kind of surprising that like they're not willing to take that fight. And we were discussing this in the Trash Talk Tuesday Discord. I don't know if Caleb, you were in there, or if this discussion was somewhere
I
else.
dropped in just to see if I could rile up Willie a little bit, but I think the room was a little bit full, and Mittens had just been in there doing his thing and mic dropping everyone, so it was a little bit dramatic, but it was fun.
Oh, what's your point on that, Caleb? You like that?
Which one?
Like the Mittens showing up?
Well, I think it's a little bit beneath him, but I think it's cool that he did.
Exactly.
It's always fun when he's dramaing and Hufflepuffing in with the plebes.
Yeah, if anything has to be said about that, like I've been dealing with the guy in chat here for like the past 5 minutes. He's like, "Oh, Mittens runned off" or anything like that. I'm trying not to be impolite with you, But
Look,
to be honest, it's
Declorian,
exactly what Caleb just said. It
The-
was
no.
even beneath him.
Declorian,
So
the answer is just don't engage.
no. But I want to give him
Just-
attention. Like, let the guy let the how do you say the delusions out. Like, people need to fume out. It's normal. You need to show compassion to these people that are like delusional. Yeah.
Oh, now I remember where I saw this information. So someone wrote out a really long Reddit thread kind of analyzing the current strategy by Pappy and why it's fucking up so bad. And it was basically that Pappy, instead of taking advantage of their giant numbers and both like punching through us as quick as possible before we have a chance to get set up, they went with the anaconda strategy of slowly squeezing us to death.
Can I
And
just say
that gave us time.
Just one small thing about Mittens. I have this strange fantasy post last week's
here we go.
meat show, right? Because if he gets this awesome aquarium with these funny weird fish, I think he should name them after the enemies. I would love it if he did these small segments showing his aquarium and then showing Pickles and Willy and all these dudes
See
in
who's
the
eating each other.
aquarium just to make fun of them.
Well, now you fucking done it. Like, next meta show, Villy, like, Mittens is gonna turn up saying that he's named his beta fish Villy, just because
It's gonna be glorious.
Oh god.
Why would you say these things, Caleb?
Because it's
Why
funny,
do you do it?
'cause I
You
want
have
the-
no filter, buddy.
I want the
there
video
a
of him
clownfish?
feeding Willy. Look, I'm feeding Willy again, guys.
Isn't there like a clownfish or something? Like, just
Well,
It isn't just
clownfish are
water.
too cool.
Clownfish is Pickles.
oh, for fuck's sake.
I'm sorry, but we're gonna put together a plan to make a plan to make a plan. That's just
Make a
clowning
plan.
around. It's clowning around, you know, fucking 101.
Okay,
Love that
I
there's a
need,
beta fish and then we can make Billy the beta fish. That's
I need
hilarious.
to become a clown enthusiast. I'm going to start googling fishes to name everyone. For fuck's sake.
You could just ask Don. I'm sure Don has a fish in mind for everyone.
Don, he's the
it'll-
balloon fish.
What's my fish?
The cheap.
Now I'm
Don,
curious.
Not
you
give
are-
me a purple bird fish.
No, Don, you are the balloon
You don't
fish.
get a fish till I get my purple bird.
You'll have your purple bird on the wipe. It's
You are the balloon
literally
fish
in a month.
So
because
for
you are like inoffensive, but then you fume up and you get like all oh I'm so bad. I'm talking like this, and then you fume down again. So you are the blowfish.
What kind of fish is Declorian?
I don't know, but the cutest one in the ocean.
Smoked deal.
Parrotfish.
What's that?
Where's if y'all have seen Finding Nemo, the bird with the scar in his eyes. I haven't watched the movie in like 5 years, so I can't remember people named for shit except for Dory and Nemo, right? But the guy with the scar in the fish tank, like I feel like that is
Oh.
Declorian.
That's better. Billy is a hermit crab.
So we've had Shrek references
Because he
and
keeps changing his
Finding
home.
Nemo
Look,
Wait.
I've been watching
Mifune.
a lot of movies from my childhood lately out of like pure boredom. I've been watching a lot of movies from my childhood.
What's fish am
Mifune,
I
you're
again,
still a
Tom?
child. What are you going on about? Just look at that baby face.
What's the fish, Mifune? Let me Google that.
I can't. I don't know the name of the fish. I honestly don't. It's like the fish with a scar from Finding Nemo.
Wasn't it like a shrimp
an
or something in the
angelfish.
fish tank?
There was a shrimp as well, but it was an angelfish. So I had a real question of what is like or the discussion point is Pappy's current strategy seems to be the worst option to do against goons.
I mean, they would have
This
to find.
slow constricting strategy. While it is semi demoralizing, all we need is one big win to just flip it on their heads and set them back a month at a time.
Like
I'm
Mittens
not
had
going to
mentioned multiple
give you-
times, like it's a war of attrition, right? You know, and the attrition is the motivation and morale of the line members. And having these massive, massive victories like we did at M2, like the part 2 of it, is just hugely demoralizing. So they would need to find some sort of content to engage their members to remotivate them. and re-galvanize them towards their objective, and that would be something really hard to do at this point.
The issue
Dawn,
is,
are
right?
you trying? Were you trying to refer to another of my videos? Because I'm pretty sure that I told Villy to his face that the worst kind of strategy you could use against the Imperium is a long, drawn out kind of attrition war, because that's their expertise. So I'm just wondering if you were trying to find a reason for me to trend next week.
Not particularly, but you know, I'll have to find that. We'll have to find that video too. I really just want to take all the TISs from like 2 months ago and just clip them together of everything you said and just see how things have worked out. Because it is fun seeing like
people call me a masochist, but listening to Talking in Stations for that long, wow,
Okay,
good job.
Villy it was Villy or PGL on Reddit. After the failed attempt of Operation Enho, during the Reddit post, they had posted a comment that was like, anybody knows that under 10% tie-dye, there's no telling what the server will do. And if you don't know that, then you're a bad FC. And then look at Villy on the fight on Friday.
He's literally said, we just thought it would work. That was literally your answer. Like, we didn't think about the cert. We didn't think about trying any. This was our best idea we had. Now, in hindsight, we would have done something different. It's like, you're the one who literally ragged on us about this for weeks. You know, we said, and our problem wasn't that the server was dying because there are only 2,500 in the server. Our problem was that there was a bug with how fighters work with AoE damage. And it was canceling out damage. Like,
yeah. Anyway, to get back to the actual question of how they get back on top now.
This was fast. Go on Theta Thursdays, the Discord.
Dear. Oh God.
Who?
That's beautiful.
Oh God.
This was fast.
All right, I gotta pull this up now.
Where's it at?
Well, while you pull it up, I'm gonna circle back to the actual question of like, how they get back on
There's
top.
a husky.
Props. Okay, what you guys are going to see on the stream right now, this is props for my man, my only, the guy that I was saying it's under appreciated goon, Balthazar. Thank you, Balthazar.
Oh my god.
Yeah, there's. They're really.
This is why I'm in this alliance.
I can't. I've lost control. I can't do it anymore. Like, these guys are just talking about fucking goldfish and piggles and huskies, and like actually trying to answer a question on this show is just it's gone. Like we lasted longer than the meta show, but it's gone now. Like
it's there's a reason this is called.
So that's it. Declarian, the Moorish idol gillfish. It's like it was like deemed the most handsome fish out of like all different kinds of fish or whatever. But it's called the Moorish idol.
I need to copy that.
Okay, Dirk, answer the fucking question.
So yeah, how Legacy get back on top? I know people have said that this is a really difficult thing to answer already, but the reason that it's a really difficult thing to answer is like, hey, goons just showed up with 5,000, 5,500 people, and they still had more numbers than we did, but we showed up early and we got in system and we controlled the grid because that's what we know to do. And this was something completely like immaterial. It was a keep star in Delve. M2 TAC is not a crazy system to own. It doesn't give you anything decent with jump ranges or anything. We just turned up because we said we would, and there we are. But even if like Pappy try for a headshot attempt, all that's gonna do is galvanize more people to log in. They can't take 1DQ and go for a demoralizing headshot because we'll just turn up with more people again. That's it. That's what happens. You turn up in our staging system with more people, we'll just escalate again.
Yeah, speaking of the staging system,
you try and break the Helm's Deep area, and we're going to immediately be rage pinging about, hey, look, they're putting up some fight again. Everyone get in fleet so that we can fucking dick them down again. That's gonna be like the pings, pretty much. It just galvanizes us. And everywhere else in Delve is the same kind of level of give a shit as M2 TAC. So where do they find that point where they can get some nice wins without losing too much, and without galvanizing us to do more again.
I'm gonna be
Like,
honest here. They
there's-
should
What's the opening?
retract themselves. Head back to Quirius. We also saved GOP today and the entirety of that Quirius pipe. They could head back there. Most of Fountain was reclaimed. And then Pandemic Horde went to go reclaim Fountain, and they took like 3 systems and they got bored of it. So they came back
I was
to
gonna say,
Delve.
did they do it?
They tried to, and then they got bored of it. They were like, "There's more content in Delve than there is here in Fountain."
I'm
So
gonna ask
that-
can I ask the frat question? Because I'm hearing that they're kind of moonwalking a little bit on the campaign.
Oh, they are. They're moonwalking straight through the campaign.
They've got some other priorities, I think, right now. They had that whole nip in place after Test beat them in the war in the west. Not the west, the east.
So
On
back
both
to
points. Anyway, like they've got that whole thing. They had that nip. I don't know if there was a specific date on that, but I believe there was. And
Oh, they're done with that nip.
I think we've been at war with Test long enough that Frat can now go back to just like fucking about with them forever and ever and ever.
So
You
going
know.
back to Mifune's comment about them retreating back to Quirius and whatnot, if they were to retreat or give away, what territory they've already taken and move forward to, that would just add to another demoralizing blow, I think, to them as a whole. Because if I was a line member, I would.
Klexos, that's already happening. We've
It
taken
is.
over South Delve. We've
I know
taken
it. I
back
know we
the
have.
entirety of South Delve. I mean, there's not much more they can do about that.
But if they go and decide they want to take the step back and announce, hey, we're gonna retreat back to this place, I mean that's it. There's no recovery from that. I mean there could be, but I highly doubt it.
That's the thing. They cannot retreat. Like they are dumb, but not that dumb. As soon as they retreat, like test is over.
They can't retreat. They can't move forward without like giving us even more ammunition to rage ping all the time.
I mean,
there's.
I think
I'm not going to say strategies that they have to do because again, we are going to do the strategy, Caleb. Okay, we are assuming that they are dumb as fuck. So anything as simple as it is that we say can be a fucking epiphany that they have. So let's not do that. But yeah, they cannot retreat because if they retreat, like Test is next, we are going after Test. The fucking all the Blue Donut Coalition, it's all ruined, and we just roll over Test, and they fucking die.
Well, the point is that showing up and burning less than 20% of their overall Titan stockpile, that's just uncommittal. It's like, why did you even go to war if you don't want to actually start burning these things, right?
Yeah.
If you want to fight, come on, show them, and you already know goons will show up because they actually like to fight these big fights. So show up with 100 Titans, 200 Titans. Come on, get them on field. Let's start burning these things out of existence and see who wins.
Just as a point as well, I think, now that we've mentioned the Testers next thing, I want to say very clearly that the Imperium has no real ill will towards Test line members, Legacy line members. Like, it's not your fault that you got dragged into this whole thing. It is entirely, you following your leaders and that level of internal
Have you read what they
loyalty
say
is-
about it? No.
They say a lot of shit,
No.
and this is what
They
corp
spew
recruit.
bullshit.
Dawn. This is what corp recruitment processes are for.
I don't care.
But by
They're
and
fucking
large,
puppies.
the test line members are not the people we have ill will against. It's the leaders who dragged them into this, who brought them into this. We get behind our leaders, they get behind their leaders. I get that there's different cultures and what have you, but if you guys are looking for a new place to live, because Test is not looking great right now, you should think about applying to some places in GSF and just let the recruitment process happen.
And like talking about like sportsmanship and whatnot, if you guys saw that Reddit post from the former Dreadit member that went pretty that got pretty upvoted, that got kicked, I guess, for sharing like a screenshot of the M2 fight. If you look at some of the comments on that, I mean, there's been a lot of goon members just like being extremely supportive and like being good sports about just the whole fight, because I think the line members really got dragged through the dirt when they came up against us already pre-staged and all that, and it's really unfortunate that they have to deal with the consequences of the actions of their leaders in terms of that incident. I mean, a lot of them committed a lot of assets, a lot of time into that just to get stomped.
For sure, there are a lot of test line members that were just dragged into this mess, and they are playing their part in the game. That are not bad apples, I should say. But yeah, it's not their fault. At some point,
at the end of the day, it's like we all play Eve and we'll kill the shit out of each other in the game and go after each other. But in reality, we all play the game. We all enjoy the game for one reason or another.
Guys think I really like to play with Mifune? Like, for fuck's sake.
Too much information.
Kalov, why haven't I still played with you? That's my real question.
Are you offering me a good time?
Yes. I'm glad you.
We're not allowed to do that stuff yet. We're still in lockdown,
It hasn't been lockdown for me. Sorry, COVID.
Oh, I just want to say fuck all of you for mentioning lockdowns and what have you. Some of us live in incompetent countries.
I already told you I would if I could. But I can't. That's why I leave my place. Yeah.
Well, you're still not suffering from a coup.
From a what?
Yeah.
Too soon.
I'm not entirely sure how we ended up with Boris, but a coup would not be out of the realm of possibility in this timeline.
Can we keep the
sorry
political tiptoeing to not my show?
I'm terribly sorry, Don. I tried for 1 hour and a half to contain myself. It's going really well.
I mean, we did pretty well, all things considered.
Okay, I'm fine again. Let's continue.
So we had this week. So basically, they lost a ton of Titans. They've lost momentum in Delve. They've lost momentum in Aquarius. And we are taking full advantage, and we're not sitting on our laurels waiting for it. They've also lost momentum in Catch. And they didn't even try in Fountain, from what I hear. Because you're right. I don't remember hearing anything about them being like, haha, we've retaken Fountain in a day. Or something like that. I don't remember doing
that's
anything.
Initiative's line.
Why do they sound like pirates in your head?
Because they Pandemic Horde acts like pirates.
Haha.
I mean, if you listen to Fountain Frank, Innit don't live in Fountain anyway, so what does it matter?
Oh god.
What do we think is going to happen this coming week? Obviously, some stuff's happening tonight. It's not a secret; they already know. I don't know what's coming up this weekend, but I'm sure something is coming up this weekend.
Don leaking OPSEC.
I'd need to know OPSEC stuff to be able to leak it. So, what do we think's coming up in the next month? How are we seeing this next month go? And what can the Goonies and the Pappies expect? Or the Trappies, because they're still trapped.
The Trappies, it's another thing, but let's continue. God.
Yeah,
what is wrong with you?
I tried. I really tried. It just comes out. I'm assuming we are taking back Aquarius like really fucking quick.
You think we'll put money into Aquarius versus Northern or Southern Delve?
I would. Let's just say like that.
I would like to remove their R64 moons that they've been able to pluck and chew on for the last few months.
I am not in game, and I haven't seen this yet. So since I came back, I still haven't had the opportunity to really look at the map and see what things are going. But I'm assuming, because it's fucking obvious, they probably have jump bridges coming in Aquarius and shit like that. You want to take those out as soon as possible. You always wanted to. So taking iHubs in Aquarius would be just like average play. again, I don't want to talk about what plays should be made because again, we are doing that kill-up strategy. So yeah, I will just
letting
leave it
them
at that.
do their own thing and watch them stumble around like chickens.
Yeah, exactly. Let
Don't
them
give
decide.
Caleb credit like that.
Yeah.
Caleb
No,
doesn't
no.
deserve credit like that.
No,
I
it's
give.
it's a horrendous law. People are dumb.
Yeah.
Yes,
People are.
that is true. It is horrendous.
Caleb, we need to go through this week all of the TT things that you and him
Oh
or
my
just you
God.
were on and find where sorry, not TIS, not TTT. Go through the TIS stuff and try to find places where like they made statements of, well, we're gonna do this, you guys are gonna break, and just like clip them together.
He did that for almost 2 months, coming on every single day and talking this stuff and basically saying things that was blatantly lies, obfuscation, and disingenuous arguments. So it was horrible.
Most dangerous place in Eve is between Villy and a talk show.
Wow, I like that.
Eve Media, sorry, not most dangerous place in Eve. Most dangerous place in Eve Media, between Villy and a talk show.
If Dawn had not made a ban on real life comparisons, I would make a few.
Well, I mean, it depends.
No, you can't.
I mean,
you
are we
can't allow
kidding?
Caleb to have those comparisons. No, really, you don't.
No
want
freedom.
that. That's gonna escalate because I already know where he's going.
Well, it's,
So-
as a spokesperson for Pappy, he lies as much as spokespeople do in real life. Let's just say it like that.
Okay. Good job.
"Quote unquote" spokespeople.
Spokespeople. Good job.
I don't even know if it's necessarily like that's the question. Is it lying or is it just
It's fake
believing
news.
something else that isn't real?
If you want it really brutally honestly, Dawn, in terms of where Caleb was going with that, it's fake news.
Well, either it's intentional obfuscation of the truth, or he lives in his own little world, and I'm almost gonna say he's slightly delusional.
Yeah, I was going. I
Well, or
believe the
the-
second one is more true than the first one.
Or the if I believe it, I'll will it into existence.
Oh, the secret? Is that it? It's the secret?
We're manifesting things into reality now. Oh
Yeah.
dear lord!
Wow,
What
there
is
should
this
be a meme.
timeline? I
There
don't
should be a
like it.
meme.
On that Redline show, what's the name? I'm sorry, I don't know the names of
Trash
The
Talk.
trash
Okay,
talk
Trash Talk?
show,
Okay.
yes.
On that show, I'm really sorry. I'm not like trying to. Yeah. He almost hit on Dawn, so just by that you can like kind of assume that he's delusional.
Rude.
He did not.
Rude.
Like, there was a line in there and that I was like, wow.
Well, he's gonna have to get through the entirety of the Imperium, because I heard something about the Imperium
choked
being
twice.
down on Dawn.
Wow.
Thank God. Oh, that's the new saying,
What-
DeClorean.
What?
We got hard for Hartley, gay for Jay, anal for Asher. What was the? There's another one. Well,
I
now
don't
it's down
remember
on
mine.
Dawn.
Now it's down on Dawn. Dicks out for DeClorean.
There was
Jerk
a
for
lot
Mark.
made out
Jerk
of
for Merc. There we go.
Jerk for
Hard
Mark.
for
Merc.
Havish and jerk for Merc. That's right. I've got my own phrase now.
So get
I'm
in line,
terrified.
Red Line.
Oh,
Twerk for Tuzzy. Oh my God. Ragnar, are you still here, or did Ragnar have to go?
No, Ragnar's got work to do.
Oh no. Tuzzy's either gonna love or hate it.
I'm serious. A
Tuzzy-
twerk for
Tuzzy's
Tuzzy
gonna
could
love
actually happen at a good meet. We could get footage of that.
I mean, we
Just-
have
I'm-
we have footage of Mittens being spanked at a goon meet. I'm
Paddled.
sure. Like,
Paddled.
No,
It's
I could
paddled.
I could just imagine
Ah.
at a goon meetup. Hold up. I could just imagine at a goon meetup a bunch of people twerking in front of Tuzzy, going, "Where's our Palatine Keep Star, Tuzzy?"
oh
that's
God.
just liable to get them throttled.
That's why I don't go to any of the Eve meetings. I would be
That's why you
eaten
should
alive.
go, DeClorean.
You
This
are
is why you
missing
really need
out.
to go.
In matter of fact, I thought about it a lot of times, but I still haven't got like the opportunity to go.
You are missing out.
But
you need to.
I'm
like,
pretty
figure
sure
that
I'm
out.
going to be eaten alive.
Like the fact that I haven't seen Caleb in more than a year at this point is just disappointing. as a start. Like,
But
yeah.
if I go to one, it needs to be the London one. It's the
Last
one that
London night was fun.
I go to London way more often than any place else. So that's probably the one that I can go.
I've got to say, I
Boner
think
for
possibly
boat.
the best one that I've been to is probably Amsterdam, but that's only because you can like walk into any random shop and buy a joint.
Oh my god, Amsterdam is so good.
I love Amsterdam. It's so cute.
I'm
Can
not
I just
really.
point out that 3 years ago in Amsterdam, Caleb, you walked into the airport with about fucking 4 joints worth of weed still left on you, and you didn't realize we couldn't smoke it at the airport?
We did smoke it we smoked some of it at the airport. I'm pretty sure we did. I know
We're
that
not
we weren't allowed to, but I don't give a
No,
shit.
we did it, but it was that like random guy who came up to us in this haze of
It was
weed going,
it was
you
like
can't do that here.
you, me, and Jintan. Do you think there's anyone going to be following any laws at all?
Ow.
That sounds like a
No
disaster.
murders were committed.
That sounds like a disaster of British people.
I still prefer Prague to
Caleb's
Amsterdam.
not
I'm
British.
sorry.
No,
Well,
I'm not
yeah,
British. I'm
might
just an
not be
enabler.
British.
The
Caleb's
London
a-
one is probably the
Caleb-
one that I will go.
Caleb's a weird Anglophile. I don't understand it.
I think
Oh, now
depending on the
Box is here.
dates, I'm gonna try to go to as many of the Eve like fan fests as possible. Come back to it and give some reviews. But I was definitely thinking like Vegas for sure, Amsterdam, and then potentially London, maybe Sydney if it's still there.
I wanted to go to Vegas, but it's way too expensive, I think. We will see.
But I'll be at Vegas.
Oh, okay. It's more expensive then because I need to go to the doctor after.
I
Hey,
think
this year might be the year to do it
What do
because
you
the
think's gonna
airline
happen in
tickets.
Vegas? Docs will not approve.
I love MPOS in Twitch chat. I haven't been to a toilet in Schiphol Airport once without seeing someone flushing weed. Don't flush it. Just go outside and smoke it.
Just eat it.
When I was
that's how that works, right?
when I was on a trip to New York City with my choir, we had a guy in our group. He's very tall, and just to give you a sense of what this guy looked like, this guy was pretty much Troy from High School Musical. Just think of that, and that's what this kid looked like.
These movie references.
He's in a fucking choir.
Stop. No,
So-
you stop now. You stop now. You do not get to finish this story. You have just made a third weird, like old movie reference at this point. No, you're done, Mifune. Pipe down.
No, but this,
No,
so-
somebody else. Docs, how are you doing tonight? Mifune, pipe down. Docs, how are you doing tonight?
Oh my god, Docs did get in here. I didn't even
doing
notice
alright
that.
so far, but I've only been awake for about half an hour, so I've not had much chance to do much tonight.
You missed the best bits already. We already had Clownfish PGL in here, and yeah.
And Doggos.
No, it's Pro Gil Legend.
Oh god.
Oh, that's a good one, Dawn.
I saw it in chat. I can't take credit for it, but Pro Gil Legend.
Hey, Romulus. Romulus,
Instead of Villy, is it Ely?
how you doing?
I cannot deal with the fucking High School Musical.
It can't be
Reference?
Ely because he's the beta fish.
Oh, that's right. Elo would be Ely, I guess. Let's see.
Oh, now I need to check which one was
Yeah,
Troy.
Villy would be a beta fish.
Have any of you actually checked the prices of these fish and whether they can be in the same tank? Because we have to send the
Yeah.
request to Mittens, right?
Well,
I mean,
so
Mittens
clownfish are
doesn't
saltwater, so. But
Mittens
Pro
will
Gil
just,
Legend
like,
works
have-
on anything.
Oh, Troy was
Mittens will
Zac
have
Efron.
multiple. Mittens will have multiple fucking aquariums, aquaria in the background, and that'll just be like.
Oh no, I think next move he needs to do, it's next meta show. He needs to start with like his chair on the back, like turned around, with the cat on his lap, with the huge like shark.
He'd have to get a
behind him
cat
or
for
something.
that. I don't think Mittens has a cat.
Oh fuck! Like get just a bowl with a fish inside. Fuck it, I don't care.
He can just stroke the bowl instead of
Yeah,
stroking
exactly.
the cat.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
You can
Or
pet a
just
crab.
dip his finger into the tank and stroke the fish.
Well, Stroking the
can
fish,
pet
it's
fish.
something that we cannot do in Twitch.
See, I have tried to get
Hey.
INN streamers to consider actually moving to a streaming service like Chatterbait or YouPorn or anything like that, because then we don't have all these rules anymore.
No,
Exactly.
the
Why
Corey
don't
just be naked the entire time.
Oh
Well, the
fuck!
fun
That would
thing,
be a
We
feature.
have way more fucking
so
viewers.
one of the fun things is that YouTube, their live streaming service, their only rule is that you can't be nude on camera. Everything else goes.
What do they
If
consider
we
by nude?
Like,
if we did switch to
actually
one
nude.
of those sites to avoid the rules, next thing you know, the chlorine will be whipping it out.
What if I have
That
like
would be
I
the
really
entire
trying to
show.
justify how he does that. Like, just don't feed the beast. It's just no, stop.
it's the thing. Does YouTube consider nude if I get like a ship, like an avatar, like a model ship, and cover my and the
No,
is
it
allowed?
doesn't.
You see,
Look up nude
he's
yoga
got-
on YouTube.
Just don't enable him, for fuck's sake.
No, they have actual nudity on YouTube if you Google nude yoga because it's educational. What?
I am learning so many good things today.
Look it up right now.
I'm creating a new YouTube channel.
How many times have you gone
We
to
have
the
a
depths
puppy
of-
update before we end the show today.
So
The
Declorian?
puppy is still
male
asleep.
nipple.
we have a puppy update. What? Declarian? What?
Yeah. The puppy is still asleep. Eve is still sleeping for this evening.
Oh,
Really, you should just
She-
like, wake her ass up.
No,
Like, what?
no, she's a puppy. So the
A
thing
pup
is,
date.
a pup date. That's cute. So pretty much with Eve is that since she's so young, she can only sleep for about 2.5 to 3 hours before before she like needs to use the bathroom because of how much stuff goes through her system. So as she pretty much we get like we're on the schedule where she sleeps for 2 hours. We wake her up. We take her out back to the yard. We play with her for about another hour, hour and a half, and then she goes back to another nap. And we pretty much do that all day. So she's in that like 2 hour don't disturb her kind of period right now.
I like the pup date.
Update good.
But she is still asleep.
Okay.
So I guess we're gonna start on closing stuff now that we are getting ready to end on the night. So
There's just so much to talk about. It was so hard to like keep track of everything. It's like, wait, I want to talk about this. I want to talk about that. So I'm pretty.
So Caleb, what are your thoughts
true. Yeah.
on this past week? What do you think's
Final
gonna happen
thought.
next week? Fun things like that.
I hope that something is going to happen. I'm hoping that the snake people are going to bring some more titans and actually make some big fights. I don't think that's going to happen. It's just that I would like it to happen. So I think we're going to see this slow drizzle ending of the war over the next month or two. They might still claim, "Oh, it's still on," and you're just going to see groups and people just falling off, going, "This is not fun anymore. Let's go do something else."
All right, DeClorian, what do you think?
I vouch exactly for what Caleb just said. I think exactly the same. That people will start to crumble. Like groups will start to crumble. Not because it's like a call out of the war, but you will see a decrease of numbers, and eventually, because of that, some groups will start to say, "Okay, this is not worth it anymore. Like people are not having fun. We need to go back and rebuild or redo something or do something else or anything like that." And eventually, it will all fall apart. I think this is the beginning of the end. It can be not in like a old-fashioned way where you just kill everything and people are trying to rebuild and it's the beginning, it's the end. But it will be like the first stone in making the fucking wall of Delve back up again.
Just a small addition. I think if I were them, I would try to hold on to Fountain just to have some sort of fight availability open, and it would kind of make sense, and it would be their narrative out that we're still holding Fountain.
I would hold I wouldn't go. I'm thinking like catch probably it's the best idea if they want to come back to something. Hold in catch because they are not going to stick together if they go to fountain. You understand what I
Well, I
mean?
think they might because Fountain has some nice opportunity when it comes to money making, as far as I remember. If it's and I don't think that's going to
So
change with the things that CCP are going to bring on come the quote unquote carrot in the very near future. So I think Fountain is actually a really good incentive for some of the groups to stick together, at least half-hearted or half-assed. But and it would be an argument for saying, well, the war is still on, and then keep having insurgencies into Delve. I think something like that might actually make sense because then they could keep defending some of the choke points and the entry points that they already have. And then the war is not really over, even though it is.
yeah, they would be delaying while allowing some of their people to come back home and shit like that. That's true. But the thing is, I don't believe, like morale wise, that they can muster up the numbers if they go back to Fountain.
No, but they can bleed almost half of their numbers and still be a nuisance, right? And still be
Oh,
in some sort of a strain with the Imperium. So they're not just
sorry,
leaving the Imperium to rebuild completely.
Real quick, I have to say, Caleb, you know, Declorian's talking about them going to Fountain, not staying cohesive, and you're talking about, hey, they can still be a nuisance. And the first thing that sprang to mind there was that you are suggesting that if Legacy go to Fountain, they will become the culture. That's what you just said in a nutshell.
Oh my god, I remember the culture, and you are absolutely correct. I completely forgot the culture existed.
It'd probably be more
folding it would be
GBT.
Would be a loss, right? If they fold, everyone will be able to spin that narrative as they lost.
Yeah. Yeah,
I'm one of the final thoughts.
Yeah, sorry, go.
So, Dirk, your final thoughts.
Final thoughts. Just as a reminder to any Legacy pilots watching at the minute, ProGod is currently making a plan to make a plan to make a plan for you all in the coming weeks. But he wants you all to have fun while he is making a plan to make a plan to make a plan. And also, I'm gonna
talk about that today.
I'm gonna have some fun here and tease a little thing for any tournament nerds in the chat. There's gonna be an announcement coming soon, TM, for tournament nerds, and it's gonna be very fun. So you guys should be watching out for that. I'd expect it to be talked about on at least one talk show over the weekend, and yeah.
Can I participate and lose like a true goon?
I'm not gonna say anything more than that, but like teasing a tournament announcement. That's it.
Okay,
right,
so then we've got Docs. What's your final thought after being here for 10 minutes?
Mifune gave a pup date, and I just want to say that I noticed the other day my cat was drinking some water, which is fairly normal. But I took a closer look at his mouth while he was drinking the water, and it looked absolutely hilarious and sounded pretty funny as well. That's my final thought.
Thank you.
And then we have Greg. If you're still here, what is your final thought of the evening? Okay, we'll move on. JP, what is your final thought of the evening?
I like cheese.
You
I
talk
figured
so
as
little,
much.
JP.
That's okay. He's pretty quiet. He's just
sounds
happy
like
to be
JP.
here, so.
You can scream at us, JP. Okay.
It's
JP's
okay.
still getting used to the Eve talk show, or at least the INN talk show habit of you just have to say words and let other people shut up for you.
JP's still getting used to Eve in general, so I mean.
Well, you started with Theta, so it's your rough
Yeah,
start.
it's been fun with Theta.
That's
Good job.
For it.
I may have pressed the wrong button. I had some final thoughts.
Hey! Yes.
Were you trying to talk for this whole fucking hour?
No. I wanted to echo a little bit what Dirk said about about the line members and all the people that are fighting against us that aren't test leadership. And there's some like good dudes that are in some of the alliances that got suckered into this fucking Villy Piggles plan that obviously wasn't thought out.
I
And
mean,
I'd
massive
like
shout.
to. Yeah,
Just on
I've
that
got some
topic,
friends,
massive
right?
shout
So,
out to Brave in particular. Brave as an alliance, fucking
yeah, I
fantastic
know. Like
dudes.
I'm
Great
saying,
sports. Love
like
Dunk Tinkle.
there's dudes all over the place that are fighting against this, and like we're good dudes. Like I fly with all the people on this show here tonight, and you can have a lot of fun here, and you're not going to be led into shitty situations like M2.
Well, you might. Don't join DeClorian's fleet.
Well, yeah,
Oh, wait,
but
what? I give you the best fucking fleets ever.
no, I said shitty situations, not sexy situations.
No, but I still like you can have like both funds in my fleet. Like I give you content and I'm sexy and cute.
At this point, I think DeClorian just admitted to enjoying throwing shit around, and that was a bit too much information for what I wanted this evening.
Wow. I feel attacked and offended. Everyone likes my fleets. You can see Twitch chat right now. Facts, absolute facts.
Look, as if Twitch chat isn't just responding to you rubbing your nipples blatantly there. Come on.
They love it. Everyone loves it. And it wasn't on purpose, that was a reflex. Continue, go on.
Okay, Klexos, any final thoughts of the evening?
Yeah, I mean, like Greg was saying, there's a lot of good dudes, so we should try not to be as toxic. But my final thoughts are really a certain quote, which is, well, at least we tried.
Wow.
I mean, that was really like just thinking about just the whole thing. I'm just like, yep. That quote kind of just resonates a little bit. At least we tried. Billy said that if there's people that didn't recognize it.
The one thing we didn't get to touch on here that I just personally want to touch on with my closing thought is with the M2 fight, there was a point where Billy started to blame everything on the server and the server performance, and there were tons, and I mean tons of Pappy members that decided that they were going to slam CCP for the issues and putting in support tickets and yelling at CCP and just pure anger and hatred towards the devs of the game because of what transpired during that second fight. And that's just not okay, man. It is not okay to try and put in an SRP request for your Lost Titan, and then when CCP denies it, to put in another support ticket and say, fuck you, CCP, give me back my Titan, like demanding it, and then posting that screenshot on Reddit. I mean, that's just not cool, guys. That's just not cool.
Wait, these nerds actually did that?
Oh, yeah. There were plenty of Pappy people that put actual support tickets into CCP saying, it was your fault I lost my Titan, give it back.
This is the sort of shit that
Wow.
This is the sort of shit. This is the sort of toxicity that I do not see because I don't look at Reddit. Like, look how much better my life is because I'm not looking at these people abusing a company for providing a service that broke under strain. I mean, we all know it happens. Like, fucking Jesus.
I want to address this in the chat.
It's really not the support guy's fault at the end of the day. Like, they're just people taking their hits and...
I want to address this. I want to address this to the person in the chat that says there are always shit people on both sides. While I normally agree in that situation, you got to think of what happened with M2. When we lost the bows in trap, we were like, damn, this sucks. This really sucks. You know, we lost a couple Titans with the bows on trap that failed, but we didn't, and we went to CCP and we said, CCP, there's a bug. And while it didn't work now, it needs to work next time. And CCP said, "Okay, we will work on that for next time." But
that one's
we
been
did
fixed
not.
Already, by the way.
That one's been fixed already, mind you. But the whole shitting on CCP and putting in support tickets and yelling at CCP and just claiming that there was a population cap when there wasn't and things like that. It's just, you're shitting all over the devs of the game that you play.
I mean,
I saw Reddit posts that were complaining, saying that, oh my god, I pay $15 a month for this service and can't even get into a 6,000 person fight. Like, the amount of Karen that went on that day.
Here's the fucking... Well, yeah, the amount of Karen. Here's your equivalent. Your equivalent right now for, hey, yelling at CCP because, 6,000 people couldn't join a fight and the server broke, is the equivalent of yelling at the fucking, checkout teller 6 months ago when you couldn't buy toilet paper in a fucking shop.
By the way, we can't call people Karens anymore, so get used to that.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. I don't know if it's allowed anymore.
So
okay, right. Okay, let me rephrase that.
Call them John.
Being such a fucking dickhead as to
You
yell
said
at
that.
checkout teller
Now I feel offended
when you
because I
can't
started
buy,
with it.
no.
Continue.
Anyways, my final thought. There's still more to talk about, and everyone should watch Push to Talk on Saturday. I'm sure we'll get to the Piggles update, which would have been nice to talk about tonight, but I think that is great for Push to Talk.
It was mentioned.
And that is but I would love to break that shit down some more. And then we've got a meta show on Saturday as well. And then obviously if you're in the Imperium, you know where to find me if you want to hang out, or if you want to come on the show, we can always discuss if you're not the weirdest person in the world.
So if you're in
So-
We like Caleb on here. What are we talking about? Also, DeClorian.
DeClorian what?
But I appreciate everyone hanging out and watching with us. We had a great show today. I feel like everything flowed, and we will just keep reporting. Mifune and I will be here to report on every fight that we can be a part of. So thanks everybody for coming today.
Last thought, don't forget to check my new YouTube channel, upcoming DeClorian's Avatar yoga class.
Oh dear Lord.
Oh god.
It's gonna be great.
Wild
Eric!
Oh, dear God.
Eric tuning
Eric.
in at the last second.
Eric's like,
what
I'm
do
here!
you gotta say, Eric? You gotta unmute before you say something, Eric.
Hey guys, I know I'm late. I was just like, I'm going up to bed because I was doing some stuff, but I had to catch a little bit of the show. But I had to come and say one thing. Okay. I love being on Mr. V Fleets. The dude is so calm in the craziest situations. And today, when he said, hey guys, we've been ordered to stay at this node and keep it and hold it, even if we all die. And that just jacked morale through the roof on the fleet. We had been flying around for hours and we're like, we're going to do it. It was a great day, guys.
Damn great.
It's a great day. I love Mr. V Fleets. That's all I came to say. Thanks for letting me say it.
I can agree with that sentiment.
As Mr. V would say at the end of any fleet, and we'll say it at the end of tonight, your morale is now improved.
This is the way.
All right,
I
so
love
it
'em.
looks like Cryo may have been at it again, and this is really the last thing that we should go
Yeah.
ahead
Oh
and
my
show, but
goodness,
God.
where?
if you go into the Theta Squad Discord, Mifune,
Okay. And where am I?
Oh, it's beautiful.
in
In
the
the
Theta
general?
Cabal General, yeah.
we've
This
already
ends in
seen that
violence.
one.
This ends in violence, not diplomacy.
This needs to be thrown up as
This has been the
pull out,
thing
yeah.
for the past couple of weeks.
I've not seen this one yet.
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
seen this one.
Yeah, he put it up last week with the first thing of M2 when it
Oh,
was
wow.
after the meta show when people were saying, "Oh my God, Test is gonna try and do some diplomacy shit to get out of the war or whatever." And
Either way,
Well,
just
to get
fucking
out of the
throw it up
camp.
as we
Yeah,
go.
this is another
Yeah.
voucher that we need to do. I already made one for one unappreciated goons. We are going to do it for another one. Cryo, it's one of another of many unappreciated goons. So please, cheers for Cryo. His work is fucking amazing.
Cryohuron is a fucking hero.
Cryo is honestly my personal goon hero. That man makes propaganda on the spot.
Romulus here is basically throwing shit for a goose pit because peace was never an option with a goose game with a knife in his beak. Peace was never an option.
So let
Cryo
me say,
made my-
okay, Cryo, love you. Okay, you can Twitch clip this and watch it later. I know that you love me also. Kisses.
All
Crow
right. Well,
made my
thanks so much,
profile picture.
everybody.
All right. Well,
All
We're
right.
gonna head out now.
have a good
Go ahead,
night,
take
Good
everybody.
evening,
me.
guys.
Kisses.
Goodbye. See ya.
Bye.
Now I send kisses to